Yes, exactly. Listen, guys, there's a very good reason why I'm coming down hard on Thunderbolts and the writing for John Walker and Bob. This comment specifically being about Bob, especially in this climate where companies are rolling back DEI and saying the representation is not important, and the fuckboy fanboys are jumping up and down celebrating that. No, you don't get to be mediocre in the writing of the characterization of a white male character with a mental health disorder. And some of these fans are willing to go out of their way to empathize with this character that has been written so poorly, but have a hard time feeling anything for Sam, who's a black man, but don't have any empathy for Wanda, a woman who is undergoing psychosis. They say finally Marvel is doing mental health and talking about depression the right way, when Shuri in Wakanda Forever is right there. If John Walker were a black woman, fans would be demanding that she be put to death. If Bob were a black woman, the fans would be saying, I just found it hard to connect to her. So yes, even though it provides visibility for people with certain mental health disorders, no, you don't get to give this white male character somewhat okay writing and expect me to sit here while it's being praised as the best thing ever. Especially not in the year of our Lord 2025, when the year of 2025 is going the way that it's going. Especially because with the lack of depth with this character and the part that he plays in the story seems to be sending a message: mental health disorders make you do bad things, which in that world and in this world is often forgiven in people like Bob. Definitely not in people like me. So yeah, you're gonna have to do a little better than that. Because you won't get to write like that for a character that looks like me or somebody more marginalized than me and have people still be able to empathize with them and have them be willing to be like, well, it's inferred that she went through XYZ, and so there's definitely enough information here to tell what kind of person she is. They can't empathize with a black character that we have years of background on. They wouldn't be saying, well, they didn't really have enough time to go more into depth on her character. They would simply go, I can't relate to her, she's a boring character. Even some of the reception to some of the things that I'm saying when I'm talking about the writing, people are like, oh my God, what did Bob ever do to you? People are like, well, you're minimizing what Bob went through. I'm like, no, I want to know more. I want to know more about Bob. I'm not minimizing it. I'm saying that the writing did. But this knee-jerk reaction to baby girlified this white male character is also very telling. Regardless if Bob, Century Void, is a spot-on depiction of what depression feels like, particularly certain types of depression, narratively, his character arc is weak and potentially harmful. It's giving somebody who cracked open a high school psychology textbook for the first time and created a character just based on the list of symptoms, nothing more. And those of us with mental health disorders, we are more than just our symptoms. Who we are, regardless of the symptoms, informs how we deal with things. Literally, the character deserves more. Especially because if the character looked like me or somebody more marginalized than me, people would not be praising the depiction the way that they are. And that is what is pissing me off. So when this is the same fandom that will make every excuse for the writing for Bob, and then jump into the comment section of the Ironheart trailer, Ironheart, which has not come out yet, mind you, and say the most heinous things to the point where we're telling each other, as far as black fans, do not go into the comments. It's really bad. You'll probably be triggered. You don't get to not do better. Because black POC women characters are not allowed to be that shallow and still be appreciated. Now, it would be easy to say, hey girl, chill. These are just fictional characters. It's not that serious. I think I used to say that too, but unfortunately, I don't think that's true. Especially in a time where the arts are being attacked. If that's a priority for the powers that be, it must be that serious. If representation in media is being viciously attacked by powers that be, it must be that serious. Because I believe the way that some people engage with some fictional characters is indicative of how they would treat people like that in the real world, especially if they had no consequences. Media shapes how we grow up, how we see the world, how we see ourselves, how we see other people. So maybe, especially right now, it is that serious.